Good evening, and thank you for coming out again. Like I told you, every single Wednesday, I am your host, Quentin McDougald, and welcome to the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network. I know you've seen the advertisements. I had a doctor before. I brought another doctor back again. This is Dr. Tangie McDougald. Wave to the people. This is, oh,
Hey,
this,
hey,
wave,
hey.
wave to the people. Wave. This got
I'm
another
still gonna be
doctor.
doing this.
Yeah. Oh, you got fancy on me. Fancy, fancy, fancy. So, without further ado, I am Quentin McDougald. I am the host. I'm the founder of the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network and also Nothing But Web LLC. For tonight's recording, we have the Dr. Tangie McDougald. If you're not a member, you already know, sign up, grab a free membership, and you can watch it exclusively on the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network. If this is your first go around in the network or coming to our live sessions, I start off with my introduction, how I personally know these people, because they personally take the time out of their busy schedule. So this is Tangie McDougald. I know you're making the connection, McDougald. This is family right here. So this is a special event. And you would think with family, it'd be easy to get my family members. No, she's out here moving and shaking. As I told you, she is the founder of Community Matters LLC. And we specifically picked tonight because next month, what she'll talk about, she has her exclusive event, the big event. She has the Ultimate Therapist Business Summit. So if you're in the field of type of therapy or any type of business, you want to be there. She has, I don't know how many people, but I went to her personally. We had a conversation. She's got people from all across the country flying in for this event in October, which again. So I'll start this off with I know her personally because it's my auntie. And as she
Auntie.
knows, whenever I need something, I call Auntie, just like that. Not only did I do our website, but I've also been in the co-pilot seat, kind of sort of watching her as her business has soared. I was there when the business opened up. I was there when she was in the drywall stages at the old office. I was there watching her when she bought her commercial building space. I go over there periodically, and every time I'm going there, there's a new, hey, Neff, let me show you this room. Hey, Neff, let me show you this room. And she has all these therapists moving in and out. She even got security. One time I got escorted out of there because I was there too late. But again, this is a personal episode for me tonight because this is family. I'm bringing family in tonight. So without further ado, this is Dr. Tangie McDougald, episode 28 in the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network. The floor is yours.
Wow, thank you so much, Big Little Neff. Thank you so much. What can I say? I am Dr. TNGR McDougald. I am a licensed professional counselor and CEO of two mental health clinics here in East Hartford, Connecticut. I am a member of Theta Alpha Sigma alumni chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority. I am a graduate of the University of St. Joe's, where I've earned my master's in clinical mental health counseling. I earned a bachelor's degree in psychology and sociology out of the University of Hartford. I am a certified trauma focused therapist and crisis worker. What else can I say about myself? Let's see. I started my mental health practice, an adult group practice, back in 2017. And like Quentin said, from there, I've just been growing and growing. In 2020, I purchased a commercial building and opened a children's health clinic, specifically a children's health clinic for the ages of 5 through 18, here in our East Hartford location. So we see both adults and children. But you know what? My purpose doesn't stop there. Like he said, I can continue to grow and do more. After opening the clinic, I thought about my schooling and what I got out of education as a clinician. And while I'm going through developing my businesses, the things that I did not know, the things that they didn't teach you in school for therapy, right? They teach you how to practice theoretical approaches, but no one teaches you the business. So I took a vow to help others by providing coaching and consulting services to therapists that are looking to grow their platforms, whether virtually or in person. So I help therapists start their businesses, grow their businesses, and scale their business to the next level. So that's kind of what I do. That's kind of who I am. I am an award-winning therapist. I have been nominated as Best Business Leader for the Harford County, for the Best of Hartford in 2001, 2002, and 2003. Most recently, I've earned the Archie Community Leader Award. And just last week or two, I was nominated as a 100 Woman of Color. So that is who I am. That is who I be. Without further ado, nephew asked that I come on and talk to you a little bit about how I got there. And the topic came up for me was the power of influence. So tonight we're going to talk about what influence is, what the power of influence is, and how it equates to positive impact in your business. I truly believe without positive influence that I would not have been able to nurture and grow to where I am today. So, if you can hear me and you're ready to get started, if you would press 1 in the chat, let me know things are good to go. I'm going to keep flowing from there. So if you are on and you hear me, if I can just get 1 and we will continue from there. Press a 1 in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I got a few. Thank you so much. And so, influence, before I can talk about what the power of influence is, I need to be clear, and I want you to be clear that we are in alignment on what influence is. So influence to me refers to the ability to affect and shape the thoughts, behaviors, and decision making of others, right? And I'm going to try not to get too psychological with it, right? But it's the capacity to provide an impact in the way people believe, to affect their belief systems. And often it deals with persuasion, guidance, and inspiration, definitely manifesting in alignment with your mission to another person's mission, is showing up socially, is leadership in the way you market yourself, and truly influence impacts all of the aspects of our lives. So when I say that, I want you to think about you being a little old girl or the little old boy. From the time that mom gave birth and you were put on this earth, you were immediately being influenced, right? You were either given a boy name or a girl name. You were assigned a color. Blue are for boys and pink are for girls. And if it was in between, you might do a little pastel yellow, right? And so from there was cultural norms that took place that began to influence and impact who we are today, even inspire. So we're going to talk about that too. But really, that's where the influence starts, right? So it starts from our youth. There's different aspects. I talked about persuasion, but also the other aspect that's effective is authority, right? We look at whether it's the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers, the principals, the firemen, the police officers. Those are our authorities, and they represent power. So their influence have been carried on to who we are in a way that we adapt or not adapt to societal norms, right? Then you have the social proof. The social proof is that you could be in a room with someone like myself or others and just go along with the social norm because that's the right thing to do. Reciprocity, that's going to relate to giving and receiving. And I like to talk about friendships when it comes to reciprocity, because if you're doing more of the giving than receiving, you heard that saying, if you're pouring more into someone else's cup, then it's time that you found other company, right? That's the reciprocity. You want to make sure that that's happening, right? The emotional influence. And I feel like I'm rushing through, so I'm just going to slow it down just a little bit. The emotional piece. Influencing someone emotionally can be positive and negative. For instance, if you have a phobia, like I do, I don't like bugs, that would be a negative emotional influence for me. However, you might take a liking to something that makes you smile. So if ice cream is your thing, if that's your jam at night, then that would be a positive emotional influence for you. Consistency. Consistency is a key for all of us. It's that know, like, trust factor. If I see you showing up enough and you're showing up consistently, then I can trust that you're going to appear this way. And that is good, bad, or indifferent. Scarcity could be another thing. Scarcity could be mindset. It could be, well, it is mindset, but it's the way that we perceive things. Like if I know that there is less for me, right? Let's say that there's the Black Friday sale. And I know that they have TVs for $99, 52-inch TVs for $99. Chances are the demand is high, but the volume is low. So if you're looking at the ad with that scarcity mindset, you're making a decision. You're being influenced on whether or not you want to get up at midnight, 4 o'clock in the morning, and stand in line and wait for that person for that purchase, or you're just going to let it fly and say they can keep those three TVs. That's not worth it. I talked about trust. When you have the ability to trust someone, trust is everything in relationship building. If you can trust someone, is going to be negative or positive. So, and I'm going to speak more from the business prospect, right? If I've done bad business with an agency or a company, chances are I'm not going to trust that the next business run is going to be good. So I might decide to opt out, or you might be influenced to give it another try because your friend said, no, they're really good people. That really is a good business. So all this is influence, right? Last but not least, but most important is the ethical considerations. We want to make sure that when we're doing business, that we're dealing with validity, that that person is valuable, and with valuable comes trust, right? And that person is doing all the things that's important to us, that they're representing good characteristics that we can feed into, that we could sow into, that we want to be influenced by. And truly, when I think about the power of influence, my perfect example right now as a human is Beyonce. Is Beyonce. Who's buying those? If you're going to see my girl in her Renaissance, what is it? Renaissance? Her Renaissance concert. If you're out there and you're shining bright like a diamond, or you're saving for her concert because she does no wrong, then you have been positively influenced by the capacity of wanting to be there with everyone else, or you could be negatively influenced by the price that it's costing you, right? So I'm going to throw that in there. And just bear with me 1 second. I just want to get a little bit of water. Excuse me. Thank you very much. We're going to keep this going. So, influence. Influence can be both positive and negative, depending on the intentions or the actions of the influencer. I want to say it's a fundamental aspect of human interaction, period, right? It shapes us, the choices we make, our group dynamics, our family dynamics, our societal trends are all happening by the power, our government is all happening by the power of influence. Understanding how influence works is valuable because then you get to weigh it out whether or not it's working negatively or positively for you. And so there's that whole psychological aspect. Now, when you're dealing with business, it's the marketing aspect, how you want to show up, as a leader, how you want to communicate your brand. Do we have any business owners in the building? If we have any business owners besides Quentin or myself, please press 1 in the chat. Okay. Being that this is a business talk, I'm going to keep it business. But of course, if you have any personal questions or any other directed questions, feel free to ask them toward the end of my chat tonight. Creating positive influence involves a combination of ethical principles, effective communication, and genuine desire to make a positive impact on others. A genuine desire. So for me, it has to be a passion. It has to be something that you love. It has to be something that you enjoy if you want to make a positive impact, right? And so in order to make a positive impact, you want to reach the right audience. So it deals with reach, it deals with your area of expertise. Who are you? So in the beginning, I talked about my qualifications for me to even have this talk with you, right? So I'm giving you my credibility up front. So I'm not only reaching the masses, but I'm showing my authority and my expertise. I'm showing up consistently. If you follow me on social media, I have that emotional appeal. People say, "Oh, I love what I see," or "You're my friend in my head." That's the last one that I just got. "Oh, you're my friend in my head." There's cultural relevance. I want to affect people of color and mental health. That's my jam. That's who I am. You have yours. So as I go through each of these key aspects, I want you to think about your audience. Who's your reach? Who's your target? How are you showing up as an expert? Are you consistent or not? What type of emotional drawing are you bringing to that audience? Whether or not it's culturally activated and hold any relevance, whether or not you're creating the impact you desire, and we're going to talk about that impact. Research support the strategies that you're using, whether there's longevity and the alignment in your values and belief system, whether or not you're leveraging your network. And then you want to take a look at that and you want to measure it. You want to look at your area of success. If you're in business, you want to look at your profits, right? I say that if your business is not making money, it's a habit. It's just a hobby. It's a hobby, not even a habit. It's a hobby. So you want to change that and start looking at those things, saying, how can I create positive influence so that my pockets look different, my bank account look different? Not only am I reaching the people and impacting the people that my heart and soul desire, but I'm making an impact that I need to move forward. So you want to make sure that you are creating the impact. And let me tell you, if you're doing all the things that I mentioned, you're reaching the right target audience, you're showing up as the expert in the room, you're being consistent, right? You can't show up one day and disappear for a month. You're being consistent with your messaging and who you are. You're hitting an emotional pain point, right? If you are a service provider, you want to solve their problems. You want to hit that emotional pain point. You want to talk about, or you want to make sure that culturally that you're touching the audience that you wish to make the social impact. Those two tie into together. The resources and support that you're using helps provide innovative strategies for you, that there's longevity in the product or services that you're providing, and that you're leveraging your network. So with that being said, taking all that into consideration, just like the example I use with Beyonce, you will have a fan base, right? It starts with someone that has an area of interest. Oh, I see you. I like what you do. Let me follow you on social media. So they begin to follow you, right? Then it becomes, oh, so I see that you have this membership or this group. Well, let me just try it out and see if it works for me. Now they're buying into, so that emotional appeal is starting to attract, right? And then you're sold out when they start buying into your programs or your businesses. That means that they move from your fan, right? From your fan to a consumer. And when they start to buy and believe in you and follow your trend, right? They are now part of your tribe. And when that transition happens, that is where the power of the influence that you created has occurred. We good? How we doing, Quentin, with time?
Oh, we're good. I got one question for you. So someone asks, who is your biggest influence?
Who is my what?
Biggest influence.
I'm gonna say Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Thank you for asking. And so I want to take a moment. So that's how you get to the power of influence, by doing all the things. And it's a lot, but a lot of it is really interchangeable, really working. If you're reaching if you're reaching people, you want to make sure that they're your audience and that you're letting them know, you're leveraging yourself to let them know that you are the one to go to. You're that go-to person, right? I just did an example the other day, and I talked about actually, let me back up because this just happened yesterday. Yesterday, I pulled into my parking lot and there was a car there. This is at the office. There was a car there and it was parked in the middle of the parking lot. So I asked my office manager to ask the person to move because that is not a parking space. So the person moved their car. They went inside the office. My office manager went inside as well. I followed about 5 minutes later. I walk in the door, get ready to go upstairs to my office. And as I'm going up the stairs, the lady says to me, "Oh, I get to meet the superstar." Have no idea who this lady is. I get to meet the superstar. Then she proceeds to tell me that every day she ride past my building. And she finally took the time to stop in because she had to meet me. So of course I gave her a warm welcome. She told me who she is. And the crazy thing, the alignment piece about it was I had just gathered her information on Friday. So this just happened on Tuesday. I gathered her information on Friday to give her the call, and she ended up walking and seeking me out. So this is where the power of influence occurs, right? So she's heard my name, she's seen me around, I'm doing all the things. She wants to see who I am. She has my brochure in her hand and she's reading it, and she says to me, "Tangie, I don't want to just refer to you. I want to partner with you." And I couldn't do anything but smile because at the end of the day, I had on my desk, kid you not, some MOU, some memorandum of understanding, where I was looking to go in partnership with this community. And I said to my office manager, "Oh, Thursday and Friday, we're doing some outreach." But just so happened, I put in enough work to have the power of influence that the outreach, the people that I was outreaching to, was coming to me. And so that's what I mean about the power of influence, to be able to reach out to the masses, not even knowing that they're already looking at you, that they're already seeking you. And so it brings me, if I can just go a little deeper with that, when she said, and she's nodding her head as she speaks to me, I don't want to just refer. I could refer to CHR, who you know is a big organization. I could refer to Intercommunity, or I could refer to you. Now we're all within what, a mile radius, 2 miles of each other, right? And those are the big wigs. But she said, I want to refer to you. You got what I need. So I say that to say this because after COVID, I just love what COVID has done to us as a whole, because we had to get creative and we had to decide how we were going to make our own money, right? And a lot of us became entrepreneurs. We took our talents and we said we want to add a paycheck to this. So kudos to those who have broken out as entrepreneurs during this time. But what that said to me was, and I've said it all along in my coaching programs, you can have, and we do, we have McDonald's, we have Wendy's, and we have Burger King, all on the same block. Some even share, some of the franchises even share the same parking lot. And what do we know about them? What similarity do they have? If someone can respond in the chat, because I want to make sure y'all up on this. What similarities? We have McDonald's, we have Burger King, and we have Wendy's, all within the same block. What are some of the similarities that they have? Can I get a response in the chat? They say they sell the same product. Actually, absolutely. You can be sure to get a hamburger, some chicken nuggets, maybe a chicken sandwich, some fries, right, and a cold drink. Those are the similarities. And then we ain't even talking about Chick-fil-A because that's a whole nother game, right? But seriously, within that block, they all sell the same product. What else do we know about them? We know that these are billion-dollar franchises. So that means that there is enough. There is enough to go around for everybody, right? Who's feeling excited that there is enough? There is enough to go around for everybody. So don't be shy about what you have, what your selling points are. Don't be shy because there is enough to move around for everybody. There's enough money, there's enough resources, there's enough consumers for everybody. Now, although they're within the same driveway, same parking space, each one of them have a different flavor, right? You might go to McDonald's because you like their fries. If you like a little salt, you might choose McDonald's, right? You might like Burger King because they say you can have it your way. So they say you might like their flamboyant hamburgers, or you might like Wendy's, right? You might like Wendy's because they offer a potato. I don't think any other ones offer the baked potato. So whatever it is to your liking, each one of them have a different flavor. Each one of them have a different sauce. So their consumer base may look different. So then you have little old me, TNG at Community Matters. I'm not the only therapist on the block, right? I have my CHR down the street. I have my intercommunity down the street, and even more private practices within the area. But then you have Community Matters. But I knew opening my business that I was selling something different. That is your niche. You want to dig in. If you want to pull and be influenced and be the power of influence, you have to niche down and ask yourself, what am I doing differently? What am I doing different that this company, this agency isn't able to provide, and that agency over there isn't able to provide? Right? That's that special sauce. And so this company, it's not even a company, it's a town official. A town official sought me out because she knew I had a special sauce, right? And so I'm excited about that. But not only am I excited about that, I want you to be excited about that because each one of us are our own, and we have our own individual thing, and the way that we represent and show up is going to be different. We same thing, but what is your special sauce? And let that sauce be your power of influence to get you to your bag. And I know we want to get to our bag, right? Let's talk about that. So, in the beginning, I talked a little bit about who I am and gave all of those positive accolades about what I'm doing now in society and what's coming next and all those things. But I didn't just wake up and get there, right? So I do want to share a story with you because I believe my testimony today was given through my test, right? I had to go through trials and tribulations to get through. And I like to talk about it because I want those who think that they can't, that they have no chance, or that they're struggling with that belief system that tells them negatively that, you're just another kid on the block. Everybody's doing that. I want you to embrace your special sauce and I want you to go after your bag because it is there. So, I am Dr. Tangie McDougald, LPC. But before there, I was Tangie. I was a 14-year-old teenager who gave birth in the ninth grade. Okay. High school dropout. I was kicked out of 3 schools before I said, I'm good. Kicked out of 3 schools. I even had a tutor, even had a home tutor. Okay. I was given 3 choices out of life. And those choices was to go to jail, to be on drugs, or to get killed. In all honesty, that was the life that I was living. Right? The life that I was living said you got 3 things that's going to happen: jail, drugs, or death. But because I have my belief system would not allow me to accept that. So if you're being told that you can't do, if you're surrounding yourself around the negative influence, I need you to do an assessment and check yourself and see if that's the right messages. Are those healthy messages for you? They weren't for me. Right. So I was told that this was the route that I had to go. But I always knew that I wanted to higher my education. So I've been through some things, but I went back and got my GED. I was successful in the workforce, thank goodness, because I had some type of skill set, right? But I didn't go back and get my GED until my late 20s. Excuse me. From there, I went on and pursued my education and got my associate's degree, bachelor's degree, went on to get my master's degree, right? As I'm going through my mastery program, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to become a psychiatrist or not, or do the mental health sector. I end up choosing doing the mental health sector and getting my LPC, right? So when I chose this route, my belief system was through the sky. I had a vision. I had a vision that I was going to open my own facility. I said it while in school. They like, what are you going to do when you're done with school? Open my own practice. I didn't even say practice, open my own facility. So if you have a vision and you could see that vision, it is possible. My vision and my belief said, TNG, you're going to open your own facility, right? One, I opened my own facility. When I first started, I had 2 employees off the rip. I had a goal, and my goal was to at least see 10 people. If I'm able to see 10 people in a week, then I'm able to sustain without going back into corporate world. My first week of opening my practice, I saw 12 people, and it has been uphill. It has been a constant incline from there. I'm just going to check the chat to make sure there isn't any questions, and then we look like we're good. Okay. Steady incline from there. So I ran my practice for a few years. COVID hit. COVID hit. We went virtual. Everything shut down. I went on a walking health campaign. I went out with a couple of my super friends and we walked every morning. And this building, the building that I ended up purchasing, this commercial property, came up for sale. But this was the second time that this building that I was faced with this building. The first time was a year before that. The asking price was way high. And the owner definitely told me that I was not in the price bracket to purchase, right? She didn't know what my pockets was like, but based upon who I was, woman of color, she can afford this place. So I walked away from it. But I'm telling you, timing is everything. God's timing is everything. You fast forward a year later, I'm going on my power walk. This building, same building, was up for sale. So I went in, same owner. I went in this time and I used another person. And the owner did not know who I was. I brought the building about $40,000, $45,000 cheaper than the listing price a year ago. Okay. So when she found out who I was, she didn't attend the closing. Okay. I'm just going to say that. But needless to say, things happen for a reason. And it just doesn't stop there. I was able to have my grand opening, able to start seeing children, able to build my staff. So I went from 2 staff members to now about 20, and I'm looking to wrap up my year with 30. So 30 clinicians, have an office manager, facilities manager, and an office assistant. Bookkeeper, all those things. So I say all that to say this. The power of influence got me there. It was not me just showing up and putting my key in the door and seeing one client at a time. It was me putting in the work, reaching out to people, letting them know that I'm in business, advertising on social media, showing up consistently. Every time you open your timeline, you saw TNG. And if you haven't seen me yet, I guarantee once you go on to social media, you will start to see me because I'm out there. The emotional appeal attraction, I have a private Facebook group. It's called the Ultimate Therapist group, and that group is full of aspiring therapists, accomplished therapists, and business owners who are looking to start, grow, and scale their business. I cultivated my culture in my group. I want to help people of color. I believe that people of color and mental health should be leaders of color in mental health so that we can make mental health a societal norm, right? And so that is my goal, to create a societal impact. We talked about impact as far as the resources and support and my innovative strategies is leveraging myself. I leverage myself as a Black woman who is educated, who is the CEO of not only one practice, but two, who is the owner of her own commercial property. So I'm not paying any rent to anybody, right? So that is my innovative support and strategy system that I use. I'm able to generate financial wealth, and I leverage my networks. And that's something that I always held back from. But you will see me in places, spaces, and people faces. You need to show up, undeniably create your own table if there is not one for you. And so with that being said, one of the things that Quentin mentioned in the beginning was my event next month. So through what I do, so mind you, I started off, look like we got a message. Let's see. Oh, people are clapping. Oh, thank you. I started off as a clinician in practice, right? Have grown my business with a staff, have grown into another business. So now I have two businesses. Not only do I do that, but I coach and consult other businesses into teaching them the ropes on how to build profit into their companies. So whether they're looking to do speaking engagements, whether they're looking to do workshop, digital products, things like that, how could you move from that clinical chair and just be greater? So with that being said, I started the group, the Ultimate Therapist Business Summit. So this summit is an annual summit that I started last year during COVID. I had great success with it, and this year we are going live. And what I did was I created an award ceremony, award and gala ceremony. So I put a petition out there throughout social media. If you know a therapist who are going above and beyond their line of duty, who is showing up for their community and making an impact, we want to hear from you. And I have 20 categories. And so out of those 20 categories, that was the 160 something responses of people being nominated. This has gone on all throughout the year. And finally, next month, October the 11th, we get to celebrate. So October the 11th is the kickoff. Can I talk about that a little bit? I don't want to spend too much time, but I'm so excited because I think people need to know that this is someone who's gotten it from the mud, who is still getting it. And I want everybody that is listening, whether now or later, to feel confident and pursue their happiness, pursue their dreams, pursue their goals, do what's important in their life, and make a profit while doing so. So you said go for it. Thank you. So let me just talk a little bit about the summit. The summit was curated for all therapists. We have responses, people coming in from all over. We have Atlanta, Texas, Ohio, Kentucky, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, California, and I think there was one even in Alaska. And I have UK following, Canada following. Listen, they're out there. There are so many therapists out there that's making an impact that really goes unnoticed. So my point is to bring recognition. It is to bring influence. So this is the name of the conference. It's the Ultimate Therapist Business Summit Gala and Award Ceremony. And our theme is influence, inspire, and impact. If you're looking to do all three, then this is for you. This is the summit for you. And so I am open to answer any questions that you may have at this time. And I hope you're excited too, because I'm excited for you. Quentin, it looks like there's a question.
So, I'm back. We do have a question. So, someone said they came in a little late. Sorry they missed the mention, but what advice would you give someone who started super positive and had a good 4-year run with their business, but is now having some sort of rough patch? What would be your advice to them?
First of all, thank you for being bold enough to ask that question, because a lot of people that are entrepreneurs that struggle financially in that rough patch, they don't like to admit it. So just like an addiction, we need to admit We need to admit and take it on. Listen, I'm not where I want to be or where I need to be. How do I improve this, right? And so some of the things we talked about is your messaging, getting clear in your messaging, making sure that you're marketing to the right people. If it's something strategy wise, business wise, and running your business, you might want to hire a business strategist, a coach, right? That is the thing right now. Don't hire any coach, hire the right coach. So do your research and make sure that that person is equipped. Make sure that person, how they say, come with receipts. Make sure that person come with receipts. There's nothing like having a coach that says they can do all the things and don't have receipts to back it. They need to show you that they have some testimonials out there that have put in the work and put in the time and have come out successful. I also do want to stay encouraged. Your circle of people, your company you keep is everything. Everything. I don't want to hang around anybody that's not making seven figures. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that I'm bougie. It doesn't mean that I'm bougie. It means that I want somebody that understands where I'm going. I want somebody, there's nothing like talking to friends and you're sharing your dreams and your vision and they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard that before," and they're blowing you off. But when you're dealing with people that understand the hustle, when you're dealing with people that understand the pitfalls, when you're dealing with people that understand the thirst, they're going to be more inclined to listen and to help you pursue your goals, right? When you're dealing with someone that have never touched that first generational wealth, and that's a lot of us, money could be scary. That's a whole nother conversation, right? When you start making new money, I know I've been there on my own. When you start making new money, it gets scary because you want to keep that money. And you want to talk to people that understand, like, if I make this move, how is this going to impact me? How do I do this correctly? So when you're talking to people that's not where you're trying to go, they can't relate to you in that aspect. So you want to get with people that might be a step or two ahead of the game or right where you're at, that's willing to get in the dirt with you. I see your heart. Thank you. I hope that was helpful.
Great advice. So other questions, unless
I know
anyone.
I get all passionate when you start
Listen,
talking
I
about
love it.
business.
I love it. This is why I brought you here. This is why I brought you here. So, what are you most proud of in your journey of success? Because as we talked about, those that joined late, we talked about the journey. So you bring everything back to being 14 to where we are now in 2023. So, what's one thing? It could be two that you're most proud of in your journey of success.
So I'm going to say this without tearing up. You see me putting my head down because I don't
I
want to
see.
tear
I
up.
see. That's all right.
So
Let it flow.
when I went back to school to pursue my GED, really it wasn't for me. It was for to prove a lot of people wrong who said I was going to be nothing because I had children out of wedlock, right? And that whole societal stuff. But it was that. But also, I went back to school because I wanted to set an example for my children. Now, that's the real talk. When I decided to go for my psychiatry degree, I wanted to be able to graduate the same time my daughter graduated, right? But then I took a different path. So there is a book, and I probably have it in my bag. I'm not going to get it, but I have it in my bag. There's a book that I wrote in about 3 years ago. I wrote on the first page. It was a notebook that was given to me during a conference. I wrote on the first page of it and closed it. Totally forgot about it. Just recently, probably about 3 months ago, 2 months ago, I was looking for something to write on and I found this notebook. And in that notebook, it said the first line, doctorate dinner list.
Wow.
And on that list, where is it? I bet you I have it. I just got to show out because on that list listed all the people that was important. Here it is. All the people that was important to me. This is the list from, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a
Yeah, we see.
list from 3 years ago. So when you talk about manifesting your dreams, when you talk about believing, having a belief system and believing in your vision, and start planning and moving toward that vision. You may not see the clarity in it, but I'm telling you, the most important thing for me was not giving up, because today I sit in front of you as Dr. TNG McDougald. And so that's
Hey.
the most proudest moment.
And then last question, unless anyone else has anything in the chat, go for it, type it in. You can unmute yourself. Let me ask just one question. So a lot of positivity you have spread throughout all the members, through everybody watching this. What's something you do in your daily routine every day? Because as you talked about consistency is always a key. So what's one thing that you can share with us that you do daily that helps keep you on that path?
Oh, small things. One of the things I do in the office is, first of all, my office is my sanctuary. I want it to feel like home for me, and I love good smell. So every time I step in my office, it has to smell good. From the time that I walk in the door to the time that I get into my personal space, I have a what do you call it? Not a diffuser. I have a diffuser downstairs, but I have a candle wax thing. And every day I drop a cube in there, close my door, let it smell up really good, and turn on some music or watch something comical. Nothing like a good laugh or dance.
Okay, I like it. Oh wait, we got a chat. How did you overcome your money blocks?
So you know what? I don't think I've had any. I probably did, but don't identify it as such. Um, I believe that I will achieve. And so the times that I've had rough patches or barriers were the times that I just re-strategized and planned. Right. So sometimes in business, if it's not going the way that you envision, if it feels like you're stuck in a rut and that you're not moving, it doesn't mean you don't stop there. You keep going. It doesn't mean that you're truly not doing anything. You're just not seeing the outcome. And sometimes you have to have a little patience with it. You got to nurture that baby and grind that baby. And at the end, though, if you really find that you're stuck and that business is not working for you, it's okay to pivot without shame. It's okay to go back to the table, go back to the drawing board and change your strategy and say, I'm going to try this for 30 days. I do want to say, though, I can't emphasize how important it is to surround yourself with positive people. Get you a tribe, get you a community, a group of what, get you a business bestie that's going to pour into you when you cannot pour into yourself. Because you best believe mine called me at 6 o'clock in the morning, like, let's go, let's get it. I'm like, girl, give me 15 minutes. Right. And so, or I'm on the line doing that to her. She like, TNG, leave me alone. So it's that motivational piece, that inspirational piece, someone that you could talk to when you are having those blocks that can help, that's going to say to you, how can I support you? And I'm just want to show you something. So you know that I'm doing the summit and we're doing ticket sales. So today I went out to dinner with my business bestie, and this is what she had for me. And I was so shocked. They're flyers. She had flyers. She said, okay, so we pushing the streets. We're going to sell these flyers. That's what a business partner do. That's what your bestie do. They're going to pour into you. Like I was coming to eat, okay, and talk my trash. And she said, no, I got something else for you. You about to put in some work. And so that this event is going to be a success, and I'm going to help you get there. So find you a business bestie, and if you do not have one, put a request out there. There's a lot of people in business that is looking to join someone for accountability.
I hope that answered the question in the chat. So grab a business bestie. All right. So Dr. Tangi, as we're running up against time, tell everyone before we close out, unless anyone has any other questions, where they can find you besides scrolling on social media. Go ahead. Where else can they find you at?
You can find me on social media at Dr. TNG R. McDougald LPC. My business is also located, it's Community Matters, located on 531 Main Street in East Hartford. And I'll throw my number out there because I'm that valuable. You need a coach, holla at me. My number is 860-282-8882. Business bestie is in the building. Let me tell you, wherever I go, she go. That's my buddy.
Perfect. Anyone else? Any questions before we close out? So If you're not a member of the Nothing But Web Entrepreneur Network, you can reach her in there too. So let me show you real quick. Let me share my screen before we close out today. So if you're not a member, all you have to do is go to nothingbutwebllc.com. And if you hit network members, and you scroll down, we gonna need a picture. I need a new picture for you. If you scroll down here, let's see. I just saw you right here. So if you go, she's a VIP member. So VIP member, she is here. So you can message her directly. You can listen. Upload. You already know how to do it. So if you send her a message directly, this will go right to her email or to her phone. So if you're not a member yet, just jump in, sign up, become a member. It's a free membership. And then with that being said, any other questions? No. So with that being said, we made it 8:30. Like I promised, 1 hour. Yes. And for those of you that are brand new, the people I come and I invite in, I only ask them for speak for 10 minutes. But I know what they like to talk about.
Oh, so I just gave overflow.
Listen. No, it's fine. No one's ever spoken for 10 minutes. It's always 50 minutes to an hour. Everybody goes, but you're passionate about it, and that's the key thing. Especially, I want to highlight the people that I look up to, the people that are doing things, and just within our community, because it's very hard sometimes to give the flowers to the people, because sometimes we may see them on social media, but I want to give my flowers to you tonight. Everyone in the chat, put an emoji in there. She took her time. We had some technical difficulties, but we got it done because she came back from dinner. But it's all good. We here. So with that being said, drop an emoji in before you leave. Everyone have a great night. And this is the Entrepreneurial Network.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night, everyone.